Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to the live stream. Took a short break. Now, SBQ. Okay, previously I did this beautiful diagram. This diagram showcases like the Stalin's chapter on impact. Right? If you're talking about impact of Stalin, what are some of the things that they can come out with for SBQ? So they can come out with things like, is collectivization a benefit? They can specifically just talk about collectivization, right? They can do this and then ask you, is collectivization a benefit? Or they can specifically just ask you about industrialization and ask you, is it a benefit or not? Or they can simply say, was his rule beneficial, right? Then you have to look at the sources and see which one is talking about collectivization and which one is talking about industrialization. Or they can ask you, did Stalin's purges really destroy the Soviet Union? So they can ask you things like this, okay, in which you have to be smart and you have to look out for which source is talking about what points. So all the red color things you see here are all the possible main points, the possible inferences or examples that they will give to you to help you decide whether you choose to say that his rule is beneficial or his rule devastated the Soviet Union, right? Or whether people really adored him or they were just on being shown a show. So which one is it? So all these things give you the context, right? And context is very important in history in your SBQ. Without context, you will not get a higher marks. It will help you to understand sources better because you must understand what people are going through at that point in time, which made them say these things, which made them produce these sources. Okay, so here are all the sort of facts that can help you to analyze the source, right? From collectivization, what is it? How did it impact people, right? So economic impact is here. I put economic here because economic refers to this. Yes, it's positive and it's negative. It's positive because it mechanized the farms, it makes things more efficient. But it's negative because again land was taken away. And then kulaks refused to give up their animals. So they killed them. They burned their crops, killed their animals, causing a great famine. Yes? So you must know these things, okay? Okay? The good thing about this is that Stalin also helped to build a lot of factories. He helped to industrialize the Soviet Union, make it a powerful arms industry, which eventually was able to resist Hitler and push Hitler all the way back to Berlin. So that's one good thing in that he managed to industrialize. But on the flip side, how about the lives of the people, right? They suffered long working hours. They had high quotas. They had cramped living conditions. You don't have consumer goods, your electronics, your iPhones and all these things. Don't have. Everything is made for war. We only make war materials like coal, oil, iron, steel. Yes, these four things. So did life become better for them in terms of socially? No, it didn't. But in terms of economically, yes, it did because it helped to create this powerful arms industry. Okay, so that's how you must use this chart here to think about your answers when you do the source-based question. Is this source talking about the negative aspects or is it talking about the positive aspects, and what's the reason? Okay, so just to recap from the previous videos that I did for SBQ, okay, it's very important that all your answers have the issue. All your answers are linked to the issue. Number two, it's also very important that all your answers tell me about the perspective. In other words, what side is he taking? What side is this source taking? Then it's also very important that apart from perspective, you also write the reason. Okay, so these things go hand in hand. All your inferences must be like this. Okay. So when you do a comparison, okay, let's say you do a comparison, right? For the comparison question, okay, when you compare things, okay, this definitely must be the same, right? Whether it's similar or different, you must be talking about the same issue. Okay, you must be talking about the same issue. Okay, perspective difference is of course different. Yes, but this same aspect is the same. Okay, so but for similar, then perspective is the same. Perspective is the same, reason is the same. Okay, do you understand this? Do you understand what this means? Let me give you an example. Both sources are different with regards to let's say industrialization. Now, both sources are different with regards to industrialization. Okay, here is the issue, right? You are talking about this. Yes, you have clearly stated the issue that you are comparing. You are comparing the impact of industrialization. Okay, A tells me, and remember to use the word tells, that issue this is the issue, right? Industrialization. Okay, A tells me industrialization is beneficial. So here is your perspective as it helps improves the lives yes. So this is what you're talking about. This is your reason, right? Okay, issue is the same. Okay, comparing similar issues. A tells me industrialization. Okay, however, B tells me industrialization is harmful as it made the lives of workers worse. So can you see, is the perspective the same? No, right? Okay, perspective. You're comparing the same issue, you're comparing different perspective because one is beneficial, right? So for difference, yes, the perspective will be different. One is beneficial, One is sorry, wait, backtrack. Yes, you're comparing perspective. So one is beneficial, one is harmful. Yes, so they directly correlate to one another, and this is the same for your reliability. Because reliability, you're comparing how one thing is true or not. So yes, comparison reliability. Make sure you same issue. Um, if you're unreliable is a different perspective, is reliable is same perspective. So perspective number one for A here is beneficial, right? Perspective for B, harmful. Yes, different perspective. Reason, same. Reason is the same. Okay, what is the reason? What is the topic I'm looking at here? Different outcomes of the reason, but the reason is the same. What are you talking about? This, yes, lives of the workers. You're talking about this. Okay, lives of the workers, right? Same reason, but in A it's different because, so I add in here one more outcome. So here is for difference or unreliable. Here is for difference or unreliable. So can you see my outcome? So here is same outcome. So there are 4 things you must look out for: issue, perspective, reason, and outcome. So reason is the same, right? Lives of workers, right? Beneficial because lives of workers. What is the outcome for this reason? Right, outcome is that outcome blue. So outcome is that improvement. Yes. So for comparison reliability, if it's different or unreliable, your outcome is different. Okay. Second source reason. However, B tells me industrialization. Again, you're talking about same issue. Industrialization is different perspective. Here's beneficial, here's harmful. Different perspective, but they relate to one another. Okay, reason same. Reason is the same because here you're comparing lives of workers. Here you're also comparing how industrialization affects lives of workers. Outcome is different because here, yes, different. Here A improves, B makes it worse. Yes. So this is how you match both sources for your comparison or for your reliability. Okay, and this is how you do it properly, and so that you don't go off tangent, you don't go off point, and you do it well. Okay, so 4 things: issue, perspective, reason, outcome. Okay, for comparison, one of either the similarity or difference will relate to this thing, will relate to this. Okay, like what I said in the previous video, the other thing will relate to either the characters, something about the characters, what they believe in, right, or what they do, or something about the situation, or something about the atmosphere. I don't know, many things. So you have to pick it out, which one is it. That's how you do your similarity. Okay, similarity, don't need to care about these 4 things. These 4 things is only for talking about the issue. Yes. Reliability, yes, reliability plus chop confirm. You must talk about the issue, the perspective, the reason, and the outcome. So reliable things will have same issue, same perspective, same reason, and same outcome. Unreliable or different will have same issue, different perspective, same reason, but different outcome for the reason. Okay, and the example is here, clear for you to see. So that's one thing. That's one mistake that you'll make for the SS paper. Okay. Okay. Now I want to talk about one more thing. Unique to history called what? Simply called your favorite things. Political cartoons. Okay? Please remember, political cartoons are always negative. In history, most of the time, majority of the time, they are negative because they are meant to mock, right? They are meant to mock policies or situations using either using humor, using sarcasm, or using exaggeration, or using both two of these three, and using a lot of symbolism, right? So you have to pick out where is the humor, where is the sarcasm, where is the exaggeration, what is the symbolism, why did they represent certain things as certain things. Okay, but it's always negative. It wants to explain the negativity that this guy has towards the situation by using humor, sarcasm, exaggeration, or symbolism. So when you explain, you have to pick out, you must say this symbolizes what. Yes, so you must explain all techniques and what they mean. Okay? Make sure you do this, huh? So that's for political cartoons. It's always negative. You have to pick out the humor, sarcasm, exaggeration, symbolism. Pick it out from the picture, from the cartoon. Explain what it means. Okay? Highest level, highest level. Highest level for purpose or inference or basic inference. Right? It's always context. What does context mean? Means you use your background knowledge. So you must say the context thing. He's aware that this background knowledge of situation to explain the opinion, right? You use the background knowledge of a situation to explain the opinion. Why is Stalin making this speech? Because you know for a fact in this time period, this thing happening. That's why I would expect him to say these things, and indeed that's what he said. So that's the highest level. How you use the context of what's happening at that time to explain what the source says. That's the highest level, and it's not that difficult. Okay, for Stalin, what are some of the context knowledge you have here? You have industrialization. Okay, you know they have long working hours. You know there's high quotas. They're crammed. There's lack of consumer goods. You know all these things. Collectivization. You know there's mechanization on the farms, but you also know that the kulaks refused and they burned their crops to kill their animals. You know this. Use this to help you explain the source or any purpose, agenda, because this is happening. Hence, he needs to say these things, okay, to convince da 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 da. Make sure it's there. Make sure it's clear. Okay. What else? So something to note, to avoid getting zero, follow question phrasing. I think I must emphasize this again because it's not seen in some of the SS answers. These are the crucial things. Follow the question phrasing. If I say proof, you must say proof. If I say what can you learn, you must say what can you learn. If I say what's the cartoonist opinion, you better say the cartoonist opinion is this. Don't say the source tells me that. Okay. If the question asks you about cartoonist opinion, okay, and your answer is the source tells me, then this is totally wrong. How many marks will you get? Yes, you get a big fat 0 because you didn't follow the question. Second major thing, okay, for reliability, whether it's proving, believe, trust, it's all the same thing. But make sure that together with this, you also say it proves because reliable. It does not prove because not reliable. I believe it because it's reliable. I trust it because it's reliable. It must be seen. If not, how many marks will you get? Again, big fat 0. Okay. Then of course we have the purpose. Must have because. Okay. If I don't see these, how many marks will you get? A big fat 0 again. So same thing with this as well. This, yes. If I don't see a match, how many marks will you get? 1. If your issue, perspective, reason, outcome does not follow this chart here, congratulations, you only have 1 mark. Okay. Yes. What else? Okay. Inference. Your inference main line. Please be very clear. Again, make sure he has the issue, the Ip Man thing. Issue, the perspective, the main point. Right? Must have all these 3 things. Cannot be vague. Don't say reason why. Okay, please don't do this. Don't say I can infer. Don't say it proves. Example, it proves. Example like this. It proves because it tells me the reason for collectivization success. Okay, this is called vague. I don't need you to tell me that there's a reason. I need you to tell me what is the reason. Okay, this is also very important. Okay, minor thing to you. It may seem minor to you, but it's not minor. Please pick the right evidence. Okay, then you explain properly. Make sure you close all gaps. your explanation cannot be one line. It must be 2 to 3 lines. It must be substantial. It must help to close all the gaps. Okay, let's use industrialization as an example again. Okay, I can infer industrialization is successful. Okay, I can infer. No. I can infer that. No, let's use another example. Okay. No. I can infer Russians support okay. I can infer the Russians support industrialization. Then your evidence, you give me things like this. Output has increased in the factories. Okay, this evidence here is a fact. Yes, correct, it's a fact. But does it speak of your inference? No, it doesn't. Why it doesn't? Your inference has different components. There's industrialization here. Okay, yes, it talks about industrialization, output increase. But does it showcase the Russian support for the program? Hence, this evidence here is what we call unrelated to your inference. Okay, and hence this evidence here is going to be marked wrong. So make sure whatever that you infer, your evidence has all the characters needed, all are represented. All whatever topic you talk about in your inference, make sure your evidence it is represented. Okay, what is a better evidence? If you talk like this, okay. If you say this, your inference, the Russians support industrialization. That's your inference. My evidence is this. People are seen to work tirelessly in the factories, desiring to meet their goals. Yes, this is the correct evidence. How do I know this? Because your inference talks about the character of the Russians, right? Your inference also talks about the issue, which is industrialization. Okay, does your evidence talk about industrialization? Yes, it does, because it talks about them working, also meeting goals, and this is part of industrialization. Does it talk about the Russians? Yes, your evidence does talk about the Russians, because it says here people. You can see the people. They work tirelessly. Okay, they desire to meet their goals. Yes, this is also talking about the people. So here you have correct evidence which matches your inference. If you give me this one, output has increased in the factories, no mention of Russians, anything. It's just a fact that output has increased. It doesn't match with your inference. That is called wrong evidence. You will go back to level 1 mark. Okay, mark my words, you'll go back to 1 mark. So make sure that your evidence is correct and it represents all the different elements inside your inference. Okay, and finally, the last thing, especially for your part E question, making a good explanation. Okay, again, I repeat again, it shouldn't be a paraphrase, right? It should close gaps. It should link to inference. So let's say you talk about this. People are seen to work tirelessly. Take each part of the evidence and explain it, and that's how you do your explanation. Okay? Russians. Okay, so let's say your inference is this. Um, the source agrees that industrialization is successful. How do you know this? Because my reason here is that the Russians support the program. Okay, the Russians support the program. So how do I explain this? You must link back to the success of industrializations. Okay, what does it mean? People are seen to work tirelessly. What does this imply? It implies a great deal of motivation, right? Right, it implies motivation, right? If you see someone working tirelessly, you can say that they are motivated, right? Motivated. What are they motivated out towards? Your issue, yes? Why would you be motivated? Why would you be motivated? Why would you desire to meet your goals? Right? Why would you desire to get A for history? Because it's a belief, right? Because they believe. They believe in the project. Okay? They believe in the project. They are motivated about industrialization. This evidence tells me that they are motivated. The fact that they desire to meet their goals, right, means that they strongly believe in what they're doing. If you don't believe in what you're doing, then you won't desire to meet your goals. So because they desire to meet their goals, it shows that it means that they believe in the project, they are motivated to do well, right? Or they want to see the success of the program. So this is called an explanation. Okay? So hence, because of this, it has been okay. Industrialization is successful. How do you know this? Because my reason why it's successful is because I see that Russians support industrialization. How do I know this? Because in the source, rather than just talking about the output, which doesn't mention Russians at all, I talk about people are seen. Okay, I relate my inference again. Russians with people. People, Russians. Russians, people are seen to work tirelessly. Industrialization now is here. To work tirelessly in the factories. Because they work tirelessly, I can imply, I'm not paraphrasing, I can imply that they are motivated. Right? They are motivated about the project because they desire to meet their targets. I can see that they believe in the project, they want to see it successful. Hence, they buy into it. And hence, it tells me that the project is successful. Yes? So, when you do an explanation, take each part of the evidence and try and add in further words of what this implies. What does each part of the evidence imply to you in relation to your inference and your issue? Okay, that's how you do a proper paragraph, and that's how you do the evaluation properly. In fact, that's how you do all the questions properly, because all the questions require you to explain. Okay, so that's it for explanation. Okay, I want to highlight this again. Okay, issue, perspective, reason, outcome. Your reliability must be there. Okay, let me write it one more time. Okay, one more time on this part, then we shall end after this. Okay, one more time. Comparison or reliability. Okay, here's my table. Similar or reliable of two sources. Okay, here different, unreliable of two sources. First thing you talk about issue, the main inquiry thing, the main inquiry. Okay, similar, reliable of two sources. If it's similar or they both match each other and you can say they are reliable, you must talk about the same issue. Okay, whether it's collectivization, industrialization, the Great Terror, social impact, economic impact, political impact, they must have be talking about the same thing. Okay, same issue. Okay, next thing. Okay, but for different or unreliable, you must still be talking about the same issue, because you cannot compare apple with airplane. Apple must compare with orange. Same issue, you're comparing fruits. Okay, perspective, meaning agree or disagree. What sides do they take? Similar, reliable, they must take the same side. Yes, and you must write it down. It's beneficial, it's harmful, it's beneficial. Okay, something like this. Perspective, different, unreliable. That's when you have different perspectives. One can say, I support this program. Another one can say, I do not support this program. But both are talking about the program, right? The issue. The program is the issue. Same. Okay, I'm going to change reason to aspect. Sounds better than reason. Okay, aspect. What is the aspect they're talking about? Similar, reliable. Okay, you must talk about same aspect. Matching aspect. Difference? Yes, it must match as well. Okay, industrialization. Okay, just go back to the example again. Industrialization is the issue. Okay, successful, failed is the perspective. Okay, aspect. What aspect of industrialization are you talking about? You are specifically talking about lives. You are talking about industrialization in terms of the lives of the workers. Okay, I'll go back to this chart again. Okay, industrialization is many things, right? When you talk about industrialization, you can talk about the economy. Are you talking about the economic aspect of industrialization, which is poor coordination and planning? or helping to create modernity for Soviet Russia? Or are you talking about the social aspect of industrialization, which is the long working hours? Are you talking about this? Okay. So what aspect of this issue are you talking about? Make sure whether it's similar reliable of two sources or different unreliable of two sources, your aspect must be the same. You must be talking about the same aspects with regards to your issue. Okay. So outcome. The last one, finally, outcome for similar, same, for different, unreliable, different. Yes. Lives of workers, your aspect. So how about outcome? Okay. Outcome can be worse off. Right? Lives of workers can be worse off. If one is worse off, one is better, then here's your unreliable or difference. Right? Talking about the same issue, same perspective. No, same issue, different perspective. Same aspect of the issue. What aspect of industrialization is the lives of the workers? But you have differing outcomes. That's why they are unreliable, or that's why they are different, because one say that lives of workers became better, the other one say that lives of workers became worse. So that's how you do comparison of reliability when you're talking about matching or unmatching sources. Make sure you match all these things. Okay, so I think I'll end here for today. All the best. Do the paper properly. Write exaggeration for political cartoon. Explain all the symbolism. Propaganda, context, highest mark, write the context.